and you could copy and screenshot this and use it for yourself. ChatGPT magic. And it spits out something like this. That is one thing that ChatGPT can do, is recreate or reinvigorate the lack of creativity that we have as PPC managers. We look at the same account for months and months and years, and it becomes stagnant and static for us. We need that dynamic boost that could be like, okay, this is a different sentiment that we could pull in. How's it going, everybody? It's Villanoz here, back at it again with another episode of the PPC Cave. Today is episode 68, and today we start a new series, and this new series is essentially the Google Ads tool series. Google Ads tool series, where I go through and just give you an inside sneak peek of some of the tools that either improve productivity for Google Ads clients, PPC clients, or just in general productivity for Google Ads optimizations within itself. And today I'm going to talk to y'all about how I use ChatGPT to create Google Ads copy or Google Ad copy. I think the big thing in 2025 or recently is the rise of ChatGPT. Everybody kind of has their own way on how they use ChatGPT. A lot of the time, some people get super complicated with ChatGPT, but I guess this is a video for people who are just beginning to use ChatGPT to integrate within their Google Ads or PPC management. And I think one thing that revolves around ChatGPT is just how we can interact with prompts and how we can interact with creating copy. I think that's one huge thing that could really benefit us from a time perspective, where the time efficiency is actually going to be better if we use something that can accelerate that ad copy by creating headlines and descriptions. Not to knock on the people that just create headlines and descriptions from their head or from their own experiences. I'm sure there's a place within, Google Ads to continue to do that, but this is just an alternative for us to, explore maybe a different sentiment or maybe a different phrasing, to use ChatGPT to create more Google Ads copy. First and foremost, I will let y'all know, if you're going to listen to this podcast or YouTube video, please have, ChatGPT, like the actual paid version. It's $20 or $25 if you're using the business per month. I think it's well worth it. It's something that I pay for, and I'm not sponsored by ChatGPT. This is just a, video that I want to help others because I know a lot of people use this tool. So I just want to help others and just give you an inside look on how I would use it. So the first thing, actually, I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So now that we're sharing that, you could see into my chats here on the left-hand side, but there's nothing to hide. I am a open book. This is what I've been searching on ChatGPT in the last 7 days. So there's nothing there that's sensitive information, whatever. So first, go under new project. This is the paid version again. New project, and then I already have one made. It's my Google Ads copy creation. And then you could see once we click that, it's the instructions that I have, so you don't have to continue to put the same prompt in or the same instructions, is the focus here is to create ad copy for Google Ads. Always remember the headlines are under 30 characters and descriptors under 90. That is a huge thing, because if you're using, maybe they're even the free version for ChatGPT, it automatically, when you say Google Ads, I don't know why, but for some reason it doesn't understand that it's 30 characters for headline and 90 characters under description. So you wrote a great prompt, it spits it out, and you start to copy and paste inside your Google Ads, and it says, error, because it's too long. So always make sure that it's under 30 characters for headlines, under 90 characters for descriptions. And I always use the landing page that I'll provide, and I'll explain why I do that here in a little bit. But I also like to say, provide different sentiment for different target markets, but ask me what sentiment and target markets I want within this project. So, and then again, I always want about 30 headlines and 30 descriptions as just kind of like a round number, 30 here, 30 there. Just so if you were to go through, I think it's like 15 headlines, per one ad. So you could, have two right there, and then descriptions. Obviously it's only like five. So, you'll have plenty of ammo. And yeah, if you even look here, like I use it for one client. I deleted some of these files just because it adds to it. But what you can actually do is even add files. If you have a, CSV of maybe, keywords or things, search terms that have worked in the past, you could, get really deep and be like, hey, use this CSV. This is from the last 90 days. This is for this specific client that we're working on right now, and see which one has the most conversion value or conversions, and tailor most of that search keywords or most of the ad copy to this particular keyword. Or, you could get really granular when it comes to adding files. But what I do then, I'll go ahead and be like, okay, create a Google ads. Create a Google search ad for, I would copy and paste the URL, the landing page of the URL, and then click tools and always run deep research. In my opinion, deep research gives you more context for, like, who is this for? Like, what type of target market? Earlier, I mentioned that I was going to use the landing page. And with deep research, it really provides that connectivity to the actual landing page and more context around what is actually being, where we're driving the traffic to, essentially. So if we have that, and then I'll put in like for the landing page, XYZ. And then I'll be like sentiments of a good deal, authorized retailer, I don't know, free shipping, and use these search keywords as a guide. That's kind of the prompt right there, give and take, or more or less, this is exactly what I would put in there. And you could copy and screenshot this and use it for yourself. But I will actually go into the Google Ads account. If you're doing Google search or the search campaign, then I would just go through and copy and paste the keywords that you want, and then copy it right here, and then ChatGPT magic, and it spits out something like this. Spits out something like this. So I think it's just really nice that deep research would do this for you, just because it'll even give you the tone. I did one for a client that sells water filters. So it'll give you and I put their landing page in there. And so it'll be like, okay, headlines and descriptions for this landing page. And then it'll go through, pull the data from the actual landing page and even the website, and even give you the type of tone or what is it called? Sentiment that it's going for. And it'll obviously do other research too that maybe are selling the same product or just content for the same product, and go across the internet and just kind of pull all these different unique headlines. So you could see right here, all these, obviously there are some things that you might need to tweak. Don't just blatantly copy and paste. But you can see it gives a good amount of different sentiments. And I think that is one thing that ChatGPT can do, is recreate or reinvigorate the lack of creativity that we have as PPC managers. We look at the same account for months and months and years, and it becomes stagnant and static for us. We need that dynamic boost that could be like, okay, this is a different sentiment that we could pull in. This is another sentiment that we could pull in. We could continue to overlap and mesh and just create new things. And we all know sometimes if we're a little bit mundane, for a little bit routine, then things just kind of get boring. But I think this is a good way to kind of spice it up, use language or verbiage, different vocabulary that you haven't used before. So yeah. And then you could see it's staying under that 30 characters just because I put put that in the actual prompt itself, the project prompt. And then you can see stays under 90 characters. And sometimes I like to tweak where it gets like really scared to get up to 90 characters. So I'll do even like I'll go through here and then just make sure that you have like deep research, deep research, and then make sure that's clicked. And then I'll go, okay, get closer to the 90 character limit for descriptions, or get closer to the headline limit of 30 characters, just because sometimes ChatGPT gets scared to go over that 90 character. So you could tell it to get a little bit closer, but usually it's pretty good. You could go through, copy and paste. You can do a lot of stuff with this. It's just kind of the basic bare bones. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are super advanced with ChatGPT. Everyone is going to use it differently, but I think it's super important for us to accelerate the ad copy, the creating search ads, especially for lead gen. This is going to be very, very helpful for lead generation, just because there's, it's like Meta. You need to put up a lot of creatives. It's like Google Ads. You need to put up a lot of ad copy. So having that engine behind the landing page, behind the search keywords, and doing deep research to just kind of scour or research the internet for other ideas for a specific product or service, I think that's invaluable. So yeah, I think this is just an important thing nowadays, to be able to integrate ChatGPT for efficiency, for optimization. Here it's obviously more for efficiency. And this is definitely one tool that I use that it just speeds up the process for me. And then once you do that, you have the copy creation here. You just save it and it'll just go through and save, and you could always just click and just get into it and put in that new prompt with the new landing page, with the new search keywords for the next client that you have. But yeah, this was a short one. This is the tool series, and pretty straightforward with the type of search ads that you can get, or the type of copy on Google Ads that you can get. And obviously you could use this from Microsoft Ads. Any PPC platform will basically abide by the same things, and you could just tweak it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff with ChatGPT. We're going to do a lot more of tool series in the future. And we have exciting things coming in the future. Exciting things. Don't want to get into it yet. It's premature, but super excited for what the PPC Cave has in store. And we release every Monday, 12 a.m. Mountain Time, Spotify podcast, Apple podcast, YouTube video, Spotify podcast video. So we're locked in. Any questions, the ppccave@gmail.com. Again, me and Ryan are still doing referrals. So if you have someone that does not have a Google Ads or PPC manager, let us know. $100 free referral to you. So that's just an easy way for you to make money. Comment, subscribe, like, and if there's nothing else, bye for now.